Tzvi Lebetkin, the rabbi from... I forgot who I was. Now, if I was in any way professional, I would cut this out. But no, it's staying in. Hi there, my name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. That's me. Yeah, okay. I should have just looked at my thumbnail, mate. You know, the branding for my channel. No, I'm the rabbi from another planet. Hello, nice to meet you. If you're first time here, it's good. Thanks for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all those. It doesn't get more professional than this. This is it, right? We've reached the bar. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things. A fan dabby, double dozy, and 'twas the night before Jodie. I'm almost sure I'm going to put that on the thumbnail. I'm making this video on Thursday the 20th. It's going out on Saturday night, baby. Bit of Saturday night boogieing, because 'twas the night before Jodie. And I realize I've had to put out a lot of content recently, and I think this week is going to be quite content heavy. Why? Because Jodie is going to be completely forgotten in 2 or 3 weeks. It's over. It is over, beyond over. It is so over. Nobody wants to remember this era, apart from a few crazes that live on Twitter. And not even they want to remember it. They just want to be right. They just want to be right. And it doesn't matter that they're wrong. They just want to be right. And you're not. You're not. It's over. It's absolutely over. As soon as we start seeing content from Russell, which could be Sunday, right? So we start seeing something from Russell, this is going to be instantly forgotten. So we got to like put this weird era into a bit of a time capsule. And the wonderful Jodie Whittaker has given us an exit interview. A second one. I went over the first one from the big issue, which was a total virtual signal, right? Oh, if you thought, of course I'll be in the big issue. Oh, I love homeless people, me. Oh, I have so much hope and joy. And then when they came to interview her, she'd forgotten. She was out shopping or something. It's like, oh, I only said I would. I didn't know I actually had to. Oh, so this is the other one she had to for Doctor Who magazine. And she's blissfully, as she has been for her entire run, blissfully clueless, right? Absolutely clueless. Caused a lot of misery, right? In the Doctor Who world, she's caused a lot of misery. I think it's fair to take the piss out of her. Look, and I also want to say before we get in the video, could be, stranger things that happen. Oh, I don't know. It depends. Do you believe in the Bible? Do you believe in the split in the Red Sea? And that will be stranger. It could be they've actually done a perfect episode of Doctor Who. It could be absolutely fantastic. It's not going to be. I mean, how can it be perfect with Jodie Whittaker in the middle? And people always say, oh, it's not Jodie's fault. It's not Jodie's fault that it's failed. Yes, it is. Yeah, okay, it was also Chris Chibnall's fault. I think mainly Chris Chibnall's fault for hiring Jodie and not trading her, right? Maybe she had the acting ability to be able to put some authenticity in the role. I doubt it. On what I've seen, I doubt it, but we're never going to know now, right? We are never going to know. And it's over, right? We can't stress it strongly enough. It is over. Oh, and I don't know what's coming next. I hope it's good. Look, a lot of people are very nervous about the Ross Lee Davies era. There's a video clip going around where he's talking about how it's got to be overtly talking about climate change and be more overtly political. And it was like, ah! Well, actually, he didn't actually say that. But, I watched the clip, and to me, he was saying it's got to be relevant to its core audience, which are 6-year-olds. Which sounds good to me, right? That sounds good. This era has not been relevant to 6. They tried. They've really tried. But I think the basic lack of understanding of humanity, which just is endemic in the ideology that's been platformed throughout this series. Of what ideology? We're just being good, decent people. No. When you're telling 12-year-olds to cut their tits off and it's stunning and brave, that's not being a good person. Right, when you're advocating taking children to highly explicit, sexually charged shows, that's not being a good person. That's not being stunning. That's not being brave. Honestly, ask yourself this and be 100% honest. If Jimmy Savile was alive today, would he be a big proponent on trans rights? Well, of course he would be. For firstly, it's fashionable, and secondly, it allows one access to children to abuse. Right, but I want to be really clear. YouTube, please hear me. Obviously, men can have babies and women can have penises. Obviously. But another fact is there is a disproportionately high rate of child abuse within the what they call themselves, the trans community, and I don't even think they're the trans community. I think they're using the trans community to get to kids. I mean, that's really, genuinely speaking, what I think it is. So I don't think it's hopeful. I don't think it's joyful. I don't think it's stunning and brave. But I think Russell T Davies, I think he's got a basic understanding of humanity, and I really a love of humanity, which is what I've seen through his work. I mean, the entirety of his work. Doctor Who, It's a Sin, was a very British scandal. Honestly, my favourite Rusty Davies episode, and this is an aside because I don't want to be talking about Jodie Whittaker, soon it'll be over. My favourite Rusty Davies episode is Gridlocked, right? And it's my favourite episode because I like the communal bond that was formed by all the wacky, interesting, three-dimensional characters that was stuck in the traffic jam, and I really liked that like evening hymn bit they did at the 3/4 of the way. I thought it was really beautiful. I thought it was really, really moving, and I thought it was like very, very archetypal Rusty Davies Doctor Who, right? So it might be garbage, right? It might be unwatchable garbage. I'm really hopeful it's not going to be, and I'm going to assume it's not going to be until it comes out as being garbage, right? Or they say things like, well, we have to like point out how terrible the Jews are, or something like something like really outrageous like that. But until then, I'm optimistic, baby. I'm optimistic, which is incredible because I'm about to read an interview by Jodie Whittaker. Nothing can sap your optimism more than that. Stick with me. I will take the piss all the way through it. That should help counterbalance things. Before we get into it, like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are, oh yes, you know it. It's Fan Dabby Double Dosing. That reminds me. Oh my God. I gotta find the clip. I found a news clip where they're talking about something about Scotland, something like Scotland independence or something, or the head of the Scottish Reform or Independence Party, and instead they accidentally used a clip of Wee Jimmy Cranky, which I thought was like the greatest thing ever, right? The absolute greatest thing ever. Probably is, right? Probably when they write the history of our planet, they will go, and the greatest thing ever was that time they used a picture of the video footage of Wee Jimmy Cranky. If you don't know who Wee Jimmy Cranky is, go look it up. Inappropriately. How can one inappropriately use the image of Wee Jimmy Cranky? No, there's no inappropriate way. The more you use the image, the better it is. Fine! Like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are very, very good. Thank you very much. I am very, very grateful. Sign up my Substack. My Substack is an email newsletter. It lets you know where my comment is. My content is. My content is my comments. It lets you know where my content is. I'm amazed I haven't been spiked by YouTube yet, been banned by them. Maybe I will be by the time this comes out. Who knows or dares to dream, but it's in the video notes. It's as I said, my email newsletter. I try and put a bunch of other stuff in there as well. It's free. Did I mention it's free? A bunch of other stuff in there to make it interesting, like old Doctor Who magazine articles, and I like the Gallifreyan Guardian. I like Gallifreyan Guardian from like 97, right? Those sort of things. I like all that, right? I do like all that. So yeah, go sign up for that. If you want to sign up for the paid version, it's $5 a month, and you get, this is what you get this month. So just 1 month trial. 1 month trial? I guess you can cancel after a month. Or maybe you can't, right? Do you remember? Again, this is another side. The Girls Gone Wild videos, right? The girl where basically the guys with video cameras will go to colleges and pay young ladies and get them drunk young ladies to take their clothes off. Exactly for film. It's much better if you play those videos in reverse, right? So then the young ladies are putting the clothes back on and they're getting their lives back together, and you feel good for them. But if you ever signed up to them, I remember reading about this in Howard Stern. If you ever signed up to them, and never ever sign up to anything that's vaguely pornographic, it will come out at some point in the future, and it will be bad for you, okay? Never, ever, right? In my day, we used to squint to a National Geographic. Now you can go online and see a couple of grannies taking a piss on a vacuum cleaner. That's apparently porn now. We live in weird times, mate. We live in very weird times. Anyway, I digress. Why am I talking... What am I even talking about? Weird granny porn pissing on vacuum cleaners. I guess it's because I don't want to talk about Jodie Whittaker, right? It's too painful to bear. Why was Maybe I'll remember during this video. I forgot that thread where it was going. Fine, let's get into the video. Like, share, subscribe, comment, sign up. Oh yeah, no, because Girls Gone Wild videos. You couldn't unsubscribe from it, right? You kept trying. They kept charging you every month, and then you couldn't make us thank. You couldn't go to your bank and say, "Could you please stop my payment to pissing on my tits limited," or whatever they call the company, right? You could have cancelled it. I think you can cancel your Substack, but don't, baby. Give me at least 1 month's try. That would be very good. My channel's demonetized. I would enjoy that. I'm 10 minutes in. That's how much I don't want to talk about this, but fine, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it together. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. Let's get to this article. She's back. I mean, God. She's really genuinely useless in this role. I mean, look at that blank little expression, right? It's like there's like no heroism in that face whatsoever. There's just blank cluelessness going, "Hey, I'm Doctor Who! Oh, Icky Thump, I've broken the glass ceiling. That's stunning, and that's brave!" Oh, that's very good, darling. So anyway, let's read your idiotic thoughts on life, because they are just idiotic. She was the universe. What? No, she wasn't. She was shit. But the 13th Doctor, I mean, that's such the 13th Doctor, a nonsensical word salad approbation, right? That makes no sense whatsoever. She was the universe. Sounds good, makes no bloody sense at all, and wasn't, right? A lie that doesn't make sense. Essentially, it's a lie that doesn't make any sense. But now the 13th Doctor's travels are drawing to a close. Yes! To close, and they're going to be forgotten forever. If you doubt me, go and watch Nikolai Tesla's Night of Terror, and then let me know what it's like when you wake up from your coma. The world may have changed quite a lot by then, right? Drawing the close. On the eve of an epic final out, and Jodie Whittaker tells Paul Kirkley, "What has been the trip of a lifetime?" Oh, really? Is there anything? It's like, a lot like the J.J. Abrams Star Trek, and I like the first one, right? It's like karaoke. Like, that's like Star Trek karaoke. This is like Doctor Who karaoke. Trip of a lifetime. And that was such a great ad. We're talking about Eccleston's first ad. It won't be safe. It won't be easy. It won't be what's comfortable. Well, I'll tell you what it will be. Trip of a lifetime. And I remember in 2005 going, "Oh, God, yes!" And then you had the slip ship crashing in a big bed, and it looked good, and oh my God, we had no idea how good it was going to be, and then really how bad it was going to be. And while she'll never really leave the role behind, it's, darling, 3 weeks from now, it's gone, it's done, it's over, right? Nobody wants to remember you. People who made money out of Doctor Who, like people who had a license to Doctor Who, they can't wait to scrub you from their products, right? Because you are the anti-sales. You are the anti-Viagra for sales, and also the anti-Viagra for just Viagra. I mean, honestly, here's a tip, by the way. Let's say, it doesn't have to be so much anymore. I'm an older gentleman. Let's say you're a younger man, right? And you happen to be sitting on the train. Your thoughts idly go to Nicola Bryant, and then all of a sudden you got a big stiffy happening. Does happen to me quite often. And you don't want to stand up. It just stops coming. What are you going to do? Are you going to reveal your the throbbing manhood to the world? I mean, not literally, just hopefully through your pants, trousers, depending what side of the Atlantic you're watching on, or do you miss your stop? Here's what you do: you think about Jodie Whittaker, right, and you'll find that thing just melts away. Incredible! It's a superpower. Let us start then at the end. I love my last line. What was that? Fucking fans! I really love it. It was really exciting to say it. Is it going to be carrot juice? This was the role of my lifetime, darling. Nobody has failed more with this role than you, right? Absolutely no. There's a whole new bar for failure, which is quite impressive. Right, which is quite impressive. In all my lifetime, and to get to the end of it in the most amazing way, by crashing the ratings and essentially being kicked out of the room, to regenerate. What a thing! I don't think David Tennant's in it. Oh, I hope David Tennant is not in it. I think it's going to be a cliffhanger regeneration. Please, cliffhanger regeneration. Please, cliffhanger regeneration. What a thing. It's like a physical expression of how you feel about playing the part. You literally burst into life. I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed it. We should all enjoy our work, right? Enjoying work is a good thing. However, if you enjoy your work and you're historically bad at it, I mean, literally the worst person in the world to have ever done your job. And let's be fair, you are the worst person in the world, in the history of our species, to have done this job, which is quite an achievement. I mean, like Trevor Martin's going, why can't they just resurrected me? I literally not just terrible Doctor, terrible actress in general, and this like bizarre smug sense of self-satisfaction. I mean, she is the Doctor Who's and I know nothing about British politics other than just having her ass handed to what Liz Truss was to prime ministers. Didn't go down very well, right? She's probably not prime minister by the time this comes out, right? And again, I have no idea what happened, right? I did hear one politician, one backbencher, and gave this great clip saying, this is just embarrassing. Basically what's happening is people are being hired because they tick boxes, because they have a vagina, right? And then they're completely incompetent at the completely incompetent job, and that's why the country's on fire right now, right? Again, I don't know much about British politics. I tend to think that seems like a reasonable explanation, right? I do think that's a reasonable explanation. When Doctor Who magazine catches up with Jodie in September, it's getting on for a year since she filmed her dramatic exit. Hey, do you have much work going on, Jodie? No. But her emotions are still clearly raw. Oh, I just watched the final episode last night. I hadn't seen it before. Oh, could I have my eyes out? I was like, oh, I can't milk that cash cow anymore. I was so pathetic about it. Well, that's what you were about most of your time as Doctor Who. And the joy is, even though it's such a long time since I filmed it, I haven't had it over yet. Yes, that's because they couldn't find anybody to take over, because you sucked so insanely hard. You know, you didn't just tank your ratings, you tanked the franchise, right? You tanked the franchise, and I have no idea how Russell T Davies came back, but boy, did he smell blood in the water. And from what I heard, he absolutely hates Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who, right? He absolutely hates her. I think that's reasonable, because he's a Doctor Who fan, right? That's a bit of a giveaway. And here's the thing. If you're surrounded by people under the age of 25, say under 30, right? They have absolutely no capacity to be wrong, right? They have no capacity to work through anything. So if they hear something that goes against the corporate narrative that they've adopted as their identity, then they get very irate. So you can't really say it so clearly to them. And yes, Russell Davies is very complimentary in all the his interviews and everything. I think that's called being polite and professional, right? I was crying my eyes out, she said, right? I haven't had it over yet. I've got a whole year. I got to hold on to it for a whole year. 2 episodes, right? Time, though, waits for no man. Not even... no one. I was going to say no man. Not even Time Lords. 4 years after falling to earth in a debut story, she has completely destroyed the ratings. It's set to go in a literal blaze of glory, blah, blah, blah. While Doctor Who recording schedule 10... Oh, God, just get to a bloody question. All crisscrossing timelines and days like crazy paving. On this occasion, the stars align so regeneration could be the last thing she saw. Yes! Oh God, I've read this so many bloody times. I'm so bored by it. Yes, they shot it in chronological order because, it might have been a little bit difficult for her to do, what's that word they're called again? Acting! Yeah, acting. It's always been a bit difficult for her, hasn't it? Okay, Jodie, we want you to play a grieving mother. Oh, I can do it. I'll just sit here and scrunch up my little face. Okay, Jodie, we want you to play a shape-changing, 1,000-year-old heroic time traveler. What's that then? We only did a few takes. I could see I can see the mark. That's basically the things she learnt in drama school. Look at your mark, right, and go in the direction the PA tells you to. Oh, the DA. Is it PAD? I don't know. Whoever the intern tells you to. One of our camera operators, not at James Magnus, director. And then the other departments nodded, and I knew this was going to make me cry again. Yes, you cried when you finished. I understand that. Most of us cried when you saw your episodes, right? Not in a good way, baby. It was so emotional. This was the best job I've ever had, and it's the worst job you've ever done. Literally, you are the worst person on the planet in the history of our species to do this job, right? You are literally the worst person, and potentially ever will have. Well, I don't see the offers lining up so much for you. Yeah, locked out. Well, that is true. With the cast and the crew, and to such a level, I'll be shocked if anything ever touches it again. Oh, we don't want to talk about touching things, darling. It sounds like a bit beige. Yes. But I'll put my whole time in Doctor in context in the word. I'll use it to sum up as joy. Pure, unadulterated, unself-conscious, freeing joy. I don't think you had that effect on people watching you, right? Oh, so much joy. So much joy at the ratings imploding and being a public source of public ridicule for the BBC. So much joy. Oh, Ecky Thump. Oh, Ecky Thump. Oh, look at me. I'm doing doctoring now. Oh, a bit of doctoring. Oh, I'm going to walk around with a blank expression on my face. I'm going to go wear a silly jacket. That makes me Doctor Who. Doesn't it? Oh, God, she's so freaking clueless, right? She's so agonizingly clueless. What's this? World champion John Buckland of Coldplay surprised Jodie as he rehearses their song Yellow in the 2019. I wonder if that's going to be in the finale. Probably will be. What the hell's that? What's going on there? Insert Jodie would cosplay Chris Martin on the Graham Norton show. Oh, God. Neither of them look like they're doing very well. Fine, let's keep going. Joy feels like a good word to describe Jodie's doctor. How? What, you mean it's the opposite of what she was? Right? A lightning rod of quicksilver energy who bounds from scene to scene. Again, an idiot who wanders around cluelessly and fucks up. I didn't write it! I didn't write it, right? A condescending, lecturing idiot who bumbles around and fucks up. They're like, oh, nobody's done that before. We're going to open up to a whole new world. A whole new world of suck. Maybe that should be. She should do a whole new world as a final line. Do the whole Lion King thing. I really want to bring playful, childlike energy to it. Well, again, I don't think. I mean, this is her first kid she had, because I don't think she knows what playful, childlike energy is. Right? Much the same way. I don't know. Like, it just seems weird that Chris Chibnall is saying he's helping his kids with their exams. Like, really? It doesn't really seem that. I think we could dismiss children's ability to read a room. Well, we could. You do, obviously. Children deserted you in droves, right? Your viewing figures went from 9.5 million to what, 3.5? It's ridiculous. Maybe 4. You did very badly. The children didn't like you. You know why the children didn't like you? Because the children were, what's the word we use? Human beings, right? And human beings tended to not like you. Why? Because you're a insufferable, condescending idiot cunt. Not you personally, obviously. It's the character they wrote for you. You may be an insufferable, condescending idiot cunt in real life. I've never met you. Wouldn't be surprised if you are, okay? Wouldn't be particularly surprised. And obviously the Doctor has age and experience over everyone. Oh, I'm the bestest in the room, me. But what I really want to bring is the 30s of the sense of coming out the cave, a kid in a toy shop. Okay. Why? Well, what about Doctor Who said that to you, right? Look, Patrick Troughton his Doctor would often pretend to be a fool to get past the defenses of the evil villains, like the Dominators, great example of that. Jodie Whittaker says, "Yeah, I'm just a fool. Oh, because I'm studied and I'm brave." Icky thump. Which is not to dismiss the darker moments. What darker moments were there? I mean, there was that time when Graham said, "Gee, God blimey, Doctor. Oh, cockle, I think my cancer's coming back and I'm a bit worried about it." And Jodie looked at her and said, "Fuck off. I'm socially awkward, me. Aye." And he's like, "Oh, thank you there, Doctor." Wasn't overly heroic, right? Wasn't overly heroic. Christian thinks it was one of the best things ever. It's all about, again, you can't write tales of heroism as an act of narcissism. Chris Chibnall feels socially awkward, and he wants to say being socially awkward is some kind of superpower, some heroic thing. It's not! It's that you get over to be heroic. It's an obstacle you overcome. Because she has knowledge and a fear, I wanted to bring a bright-eyed, youthful quality to it, because I felt that sat well with me, and I felt and how I feel I bounce through life. Well, yeah, I mean, you are kind of like a bouncing bomb of destruction coming to Doctor Who. Nobody quite knew how awful you would be or how much awful you would get, which is remarkable, right? Which is absolutely remarkable. It's true. In person, Jodie radiates the same warm, infectious joy de vivre as on a screen alter ego. Well, come on, have an interview with me, darling. Let's see if you can keep that up. I honestly, I'd love to interview her, right? So why did you play the Doctor as a clueless moron? Like, why do you think that was good? Do you think that was emancipating for women? Right? I don't know. It's clear she's loved being Doctor Who without knowing anything about it. Final Sunday, she's met Rosa Parks, Mary Seacole, Ada Lovelace. Ada Lovelace, you met for about 20 minutes. I mean, like, less than that, about 5 minutes in an episode. And her own mother, sort of. Oh, God. Tectoon, leave me alone with that shit. It's all being decanonized. Russell's putting that big red pen through it right now. It's all going away. She's been exterminated by Daleks. When? Does that normally kill you? Transformed into a weeping angel. Yeah, when that was basically a taxi service. And looked at a Sprayers prison, which she couldn't get out of because she was useless, right? She thought gods and monsters and giant spiders. She didn't fight the giant fucking spiders. She looked at them and said, "Oh, poor creatures, now suffocate horribly for hours until you die." Oh, so much hope, so much joy. Had a visit from the Kablam Man. That was actually one of the few good things that she did, the Kablam Man, right? That actually could have worked, but never mind. It's a weird story. It didn't make any sense. And chatted with a sentient universe disguised as a frog. This is supposed to be her greatest moments, right? The space frog, right? The space frog. She's seen her homeworld burn, and entire Alex is divided by the flux. Yeah, destroyed 80%, 70-80% of reality. Yeah, didn't really mind. And perhaps most devastatingly of all, she learned that her whole life was built on a lie. Oh, God, I can't wait for this to be over. Can't wait for it to be over, baby. Just one day to go, and it's gone. Out of my hair forever. Was the experience broadly what Jodie expected? No! It was completely different! I thought I'd be like this Teletubby sort of character, and then they wanted me to say lines and things. I didn't understand them, or how to act. I understand it now. No, you didn't. In a way, I didn't before. What, you understand that you suck at it? What Peter Capaldi, Matt Smith, and David Tennant were talking about when I spoke with them beforehand. They tried to explain to me beforehand, and I ignored it completely. There was so much excitement from them. Yeah, they hadn't seen what you've done yet. Whereas from me at the time, I was it was quite nerve-wracking. It was overwhelming. Yeah, you were in over your head, and you could tell. It was overwhelming to be told you're going to do something. You're going to love something. Okay. And there are things about playing a doctor you can't explain to anyone. They couldn't explain to you because you're a knuckle-dragging dolt. But one thing, filming, and another thing, it could be it coming out. Yeah. Did you notice the difference between that? The filming was joyous, and it coming out was sort of awful, right? Because we all said this is shit, right? I mean, look, you gaslit us for a year or so, and then the Timeless Children happened, and everyone went, "No, this is shit. Shut up, Jodie. Oh, thank God, here's a pandemic. Maybe it'll go away. No, it's still here. Crap. What can you do? It's overwhelming to be okay. Blah blah blah." And it was filming coming out there. There's a whole world. There's a whole other world you're about to enter, and you can't even begin to imagine. Well, you can't because you don't have any imagination because you're not very clever, right? The show gives you life experiences you wouldn't have otherwise, like destroying a beloved franchise, like crushing the hopes and dreams of millions of people. Oh, I could never hope to do that on my own. Thank you, Chris Chibnall. Like being serenaded by Coldplay. Oh God. Yeah, getting to meet Coldplay, she beams, of being on the Children in Need album, which she recorded on the cover of Yellow, and just being able to interact with fans. You don't interact with fans, you lying cunt! You do not interact with fans. You did before your episodes came out. Don't you remember you stomping up and down the catwalk in her universe? All proud of, look at me, I'm Doctor Who. Studying prayer, break the glass ceiling. Oh, look at me. Not so much of that next year, was it? No, you're hiding in a box, weren't you, darling? Why? Because everybody saw what you did, and you was shit, right? It was shit. But amazingly, it got a lot worse. Where is it? Where am I? After fans, many of whom loved the show, many of whom didn't. For longer, the year of living cautiously. I'll go over that on my live stream. I like these box outs, but I'm going to go over it on my live stream. That's going to be tonight for me, Thursday. So go look back, and if you want to hear what's in that box out, you can go and look it up there. Oh look, some arachnids in the UK. Like why? Like, and why does Mandip always frickin' look like this, right? Why does somebody tell Mandip, oh yeah, look like you're trying to have a shit, but you can't force it out? That's acting. Oh God, yeah. Well, Mandip Gill in love, Mandip Gill angry, Mandip Gill sad, Mandip Gill confused. All the same. One expression to rule them all. One expression to rule them all. Ecky thump. Fine. There's so many positives. So it talks more about Coldplay. I mean, there's no whining about it. If the harder thing about your job is learning your lines, you're doing well, but you weren't very good about it. You weren't, okay. But this isn't particularly challenging type of dialogue. Yeah, because they didn't understand any of it. Have you go back and watch, what was it? Awful bloody episode? The Sunungra Conundrum, right? The Sunungra Conundrum, she gives a speech about science, which she clearly doesn't understand at all, right? You clearly don't understand it at all. When I first started to get my pages, I went, okay, I'm not shooting for 2 more weeks, but OMG, she shakes her. The first proper wobble for me of going. I don't know if I can do this. When they were shooting an episode, The Woman Who Fell to Earth. Oh, let me tell you from the future, darling. You can't, right? You can't. You were very, very bad at it, right? Very, very bad at it. And massive monologue, and it takes you away. And you're bad at it as well. 3 pages explaining that. I'm like, Jodie mimes the look of bafflement, right? Yeah, I know. We saw it on screen, darling, right? You don't have to tell us. We were all there. I remember going up to a amazing script supervisor, Mickey Cole, saying, am I the worst doctor ever at learning lines? No, you don't put at learning lines. You're the worst doctor ever. Yes. You picked up on that, did you? Because in fact you were. That's one of the only authentic things that you come across. She's far from alone, Dr. Magdalena assures her. Matt Smith recalls phoning up his dad during his first shooting block and saying, "Oh, fuck off. Matt Smith can act. He was a freaking awesome doctor, right? He was absolutely fantastic. Jodie Whittaker utterly failed. The Doctor is almost famously one of the more physically demanding jobs on TV. Oh, it's a wonderful roller coaster. You have the time of your life, but yes, it's your entire life. You become completely immersed in the world. Well, you did. You ran from any fandom whatsoever. Not that your running was ever very, very convincing, because it wasn't. Your running was always awful. So in that sense, you have to be ready to step out of it, she reflects. But another, she's clinging to the TARDIS door frame by a fingernails. Oh yeah. On one hand, I don't want to go. I don't want to hand it over. Fuck off. You're gone. You're gone. Leave us alone. Yeah. Really. What? Are you doing much Big Finish? Are you, darling? Coming back to do that? What about that special that never got made? Right? They rewrote Eve of the Daleks in about a week, and I think that actually worked out to be your best episode. Quite frankly, right? I mean, creepy Nick notwithstanding. You know, go to Big Finish, do that. Yeah. See how that sells. I mean, we could all use a laugh. I don't want it to like sink Big Finish financially forever, which it could do. But then I'm desperate as a fantasy shooting Gatwa as the Doctor, and probably the newest fan of us all. I'm so excited to see the new Dawn. Yes, we're all excited to see that new Dawn, but it's bittersweet because I don't want to go. You're ripping off another fucking line, you silly cunt. Oh my god. We're Doctor Who fans, right? We know where this shit comes from. For Jodie, perhaps the biggest joy is being the Doctor. She liked everyone on the crew. Who cares? For us to see it through together from start to finish was so special. I went to see Mandip at a play 222 ago, so I said, "Hey, Mandip, how'd you get another job?" I'm a bit confused. How do you get another job? I said, because I look vaguely shaggable, right? And actually, I don't, but it looks like I can put some makeup on and appear vaguely shaggable. That's keeping me employed, and basically only that. Once my looks goes, forget it. I'm back working at Tesco's. Was it talking about Brad snuck in a week before? But those people, they're forever, she smiles. That's the forever family. Darling, they will never speak to you again. Doctor Who certainly has form when it comes to forging lifelong friendships. The TARDIS, Janet Fielding, Sophie Aldred. Meeting Janet and Sophie, you appreciate it was like yesterday for them. No, it wasn't. And for me, that's great to know that you never have to be embarrassed about the fact you what? Never know you have to be embarrassed about the fact that you always want people to ask you about the show. No one's going to ask you other than, how did you fuck that up so royally? Right? That's the only question you're going to have to you're going to have to field. Like how did you just fuck that up so royally? Oh, because I've no natural talent or ability. Because I'm not very clever. Well, that's a fair answer there, Jodie. That is a fair answer. Where are we up to? That I can celebrate it forever. You can't. You're celebrating complete abject bloody failure. Right? Which, again, I think that's how I would describe it. The most terrifying photo of all time. Attack of the Jodies. That would be a scary story. Hang on, how does this finish up? Yeah, I know there's gonna be 13 more Doctors. Well, there nearly wasn't because of you, right? There might not be. I don't know if Russell T Davies can turn it around, right? I do not know if he can turn it around. And I hope I'll live to see them all. How? Like I recently, and you know, I think during the Capaldi year on Matt Smith, I realised at some point Doctor Who was going to outlive me, right? There will be Doctor Who's, because it was going great guns, right? There will Doctor Who's that will happen after I'm dead, right? Which I was like, wow, that's a really bizarre thought to have. Maybe I hope that's still true, right? I do hope that's still true, but how are you going to see them all? You're going to okay, whatever. Fine. Earlier this year, Jodie made her off-duty convention debut Ellen, OMG, she said, still clearly moved by this minute. It's not like I cry at everything. It's got to be an emotional situation for me to cry. So that time I charged unsuspecting children £200 for a picture and a signature. Oh, it was so touching. I mean, for me, not them, obviously. They got to meet me. They got to touch greatness. The greatness that is Jodie Whittaker. Stunning and brave. Ecky Thump, that's me. But I find interacting with people who love the show incredibly overwhelming. Really? Come on my channel, darling. Come on my channel. You might find it incredibly overwhelming. That could happen. There's so much love for the show. For the show there is, right. And there's so much fun. Before you came around and you dour cunt. Dour lecturing cunt. It's the opposite of fun, right? Literally the opposite of fun. People forget sometimes that you don't have to grow out of having fun or take yourself too seriously. Well, darling, I don't know what would lead you to take yourself seriously. Right? I mean, really, I've watched you do this job for 5 years, and again, I want to reiterate, you're the worst person who has ever done this job in the history of our species. Ever. There are people who have made fan films that dwarf you in ability. You weren't even as good as the virtual signaling doctor they put on here, Dr. Ruth. There was a particularly delightful moment when Morning in Sheffield premiere of The Woman Who Fell to Earth. Yeah, everything goes back to there, right? Before everybody knew how shit you were. When Jodie appeared with 13 doctors lookalike. You couldn't find a dozen of them now. The sheer amount of people who turned up in costume was just amazing. She beams. Man and I were also are both so into seeing people dressed as us. I mean, please say I'm a narcissist without saying I'm a narcissist. Okay. It feels like everybody's represented. What about all the vast majority of people who ran away from the Doctor Who? Were they represented? No. They weren't represented, right? And that's the main reason they ran away. Other than, your complete anti-charisma. What is the word for anti-charisma? I don't know, but you gotta love it, baby. Who Doctor Who reaches and the sort of people it unites. It's it reached a lot more people and it united a lot more before your toxic, evil fans came along and started screaming anybody was a racist when they pointed out the plot holes in your frankly dire TV show. It's the real celebration of the type of people I love. Yeah, the type, okay. The type of people I love. Oh, not misogynists. Oh, no, not them. They're not real Doctor Who fans. Who's a misogynist? Oh, anybody who didn't like me. Okay, fine. I guess that's the way you view the world. The fact that so many people, so many of those people are women or girls is significant. They weren't. Again, this had the least viewership of any Doctor Who ever. I mean, including Sylvester McCoy. Now, included in that least lowest viewership were women, right? Women abandoned you along with everybody else because what you did was unwashable shit. And even you having a magic vagina didn't help bring people in. Didn't help bring people come and watch this. How do we describe again? Unwatchable garbage that you do indeed make. It's probably true that the convention needs to conversation move to Jodie being the first female Doctor in flashing neon lights. Well, how can it move on when the only thing you banged on about? It's literally the only accomplishment you had other than destroying the show. Oh, it's really important, and the conversation should move on when it has moved on, I mean, yeah, I mean, who are you moving on to, right? I don't understand, right? I do not understand. Where are we up to? When you feel there's representation for everybody, then then the conversation has moved on. Again, there isn't representation for everybody. We see that by the dramatic drop in viewing figures, right? There wasn't there was a representation for this teeny tiny group of piss babies that live on Twitter, right, with purple hair and frankly awful lives, right? And they want everybody else to have the frankly awful, miserable lives that they have, so they can feel their awful, miserable life isn't quite as awful and miserable, right? And that, yeah, it's a teeny tiny group. How do we know it's a teeny tiny group? Because they're the only one who stayed fucking with you. Oh, I mean, who watched you? Basically, woke weirdos who kept telling themselves it was good even though it wasn't, and weird parents who would tie their children to a chair and prod them with a stick and a knife until they pretended to watch it. Oh, it's so important. Oh, so much representation. And that would be brilliant, right? Again, you fucked up there being a female doctor forever because you did such an incredibly bad job. The worst person to do this job in the history of our species. I think that might be the tagline for this. It was the night before Jodie. Jodie Whittaker discusses being the worst person to take on the role of Doctor Who in the history of our species. With nothing but pride. For me, it was what a wonderful thing to be the first female doctor. Oh, broke the glass ceiling. It was a glass bottom boat, baby. And also now with Jo Martin, fugitive doctor, I'm not alone in it. She's my sister doctor. Fuck off. Representation in this area also extended to a deepening relationship between the Doctor and Yaz, which inspired and fed off the online hashtag Phasmin. Again, how did it work out for you, darling? Oh, yes, you hemorrhage viewers. Everybody hated it. And even the demographic you were pandering to hated it because you weren't pandering fucking enough. How familiar is Jodie with phenomenon? Oh, someone had to explain it to me. What's Phasmin? Oh, I don't understand. Well, 13, that's a 13 letter 13, plus Asmin, which was in the last letters of Yaz's name, with the Y cut off. Yeah, I don't understand. Well, of course you don't, darling. You're a moron, right? Of course you don't. Why would anybody expect you to understand basic facts and logic? Because obviously half the stuff on social media goes over my head. Darling, most stuff goes over your head. The only reason half the stuff goes over your head in social media is because in real life, most things go over your head. That's why you like social media. But I love it as a celebration of our characters and meeting people at Comic-Con. Haven't been back there since you aired an episode, you lying cunt. That the relationship has really had a positive effect. What's the positive effect? What's the positive effect of Phasmin? How did that work out? Oh, it was stunning, it was brave, representation, joy, hope, and lots of words that don't mean anything. Okay. What an honor to be involved in a storyline like that reaches people. Perhaps inevitably hearts were broken when the doctor told you, hey, I'm too fucking scared to have a relationship because I'm a big coward, me. I can't fix most of anyone, anywhere, because I think that's the thing, nods Jodie. I'm doing my thinkering. I keep trying to think, but nothing happens. The Doctor understands love and loss on a level that we, as humans, can't. Okay, and there's a protection towards people that she takes with her. But when there's such a deep love and connection, there is zero connection between you two. She looked like she's just swallowed a wasp constantly, right? It takes with her, but when there's such deep love and connection as there is with Yaz, it's a heartbreak for everybody. God. I mean, what percentage of the population is gay? If it's a comic book universe, 100%. If it's Big Finish, it's 100%. Everybody's gay. Do straight people get any representation? No, they don't. Well, you have representation for the last 2,000 years. That's because we're fucking everybody, you stupid moron. We're 98% of the population. That's why we're represented dominantly in all media, because that's who the media is for. Oh, well, here, when you put it like that, you're a bigot. Russian pick up her favourite store. Fell out. Said, "Oh, be my first." From a very self-involved perspective, who'd have thought Jodie Whittaker would be self-involved? I'm amazed. I get the best entrance ever, falling into train. Not really. I mean, who had a better entrance? I don't know. I think Matt Smith's opening episode was probably one of the best. I think even though I didn't like the episode, I like the TARDIS being eaten by a T-Rex at the beginning of whatever that overly long episode was. What's that first episode he called? Not the 11th hour. I can't remember. With like the Clockwork Man thingy, I can't really. Which I think doesn't really bode well for you there, Capaldi. But again, Capaldi, fantastic Doctor. Yeah, when I stand up, the theme music kicked in. It was just like, yeah, this is gonna be great. But also, it was my first time with Brad Mandem and Tosin. Oh, wow, it was your first time, baby. And I had no idea the love I was going to have for all of them. Within weeks, you're going to be forgotten forever, darling. Forgotten forever. Last issue, such a one told Dr. Man had been gifted his master's costume by the BBC. Did Jodie keep hers? Oh, of course I did. Yeah, nobody's going to want that again. Mia Mandip also, she had a leather jacket. She had a really boring... Where's her costume? All right? Where's Mandip's costume? Which is just... Look at that. I mean, like, oh, yeah. Okay. It looks like you just bought it from a high street, okay? That doesn't look like a particularly stunning and brave costume. Oh, Attack of the Geordies. Everybody look out. That's before we knew how awful you were going to be. Line of Duty. Okay, we'll also read this on the Lines of Duty. I'll also read this on my live stream tonight or 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago for you, tonight for me. It's a bit trans-temporal, isn't it? Brock stuff in the title. After our last scene, we both got clapped. Oh, we both got clapped in by the crew. I was like, really? This is the porn version of Doctor Who? After our last scene, after being the first time with Thorson, and we all got the clap. You could have worded that better, darling. And we were hugging and crying, and we were like, quick, Jodie mimes, harvesting bits of the console. Plus, I've got my costume. I've got so much stuff. Okay, glad it worked out well for you. Everything has a massive relevance when you're about to leave. I was like, there's a grain of sand. Oh, look at no, that was just your brain, darling. Obviously, it wasn't a brain. That was called humour. I could just see the people hate watching. That was not funny at all. It's Jodie is stunning and brave, and you're even misogynist. I can't understand. I'm like, what? Nearly an hour in, and there are still people who hate watching this video. They are that fucking crazy. I mean, really, they are. What was it? But you can see her digging the famous hooded coat out the wardrobe, making a return appearance. Doctor, oh, I'd love to come back, yeah. She said at that moment, oh, I know, I don't have anything booked. It's incredible. Don't have anything booked yet at all. Yeah, really, darling? Who could see that coming? Hey, how about G4 TV? Maybe you get oh, no, that's over as well. Never mind. I know I should have probably been more mysterious about it, but I'm putting it out there. I'm available if anyone's reading this who's involved with Doctor Who. Big Finish knows you're available. They're not calling. Well, Rusty Davis is an avid reader. Oh, Russell here, Ricky Thump. As for immediate future, as for the more immediate, what's been really wonderful for me is that I left this job and then life happened. She revealed she gave birth to a second child in May. I slipped away, and an even bigger challenge was waiting for me. Fuck me, darling. I hope you do better as a parent than you do as Doctor fucking Who. Like, if you're as bad as Doctor Who as you are a parent, you're gonna eat that baby, okay? Yeah, I want to eat the baby. I mean, like, how can you be anyone? I know you'll probably take it for transgender surgery when it's 4. That's the way you could probably be worse. Well done to you, sir, madam. Not I'm assuming your gender. So I'm currently a wonderful stage of being home and loving that. I'm in no rush to get to birth. Well, that's a bit convenient because no one is in a rush to hire you, right? Nobody. There is nobody. Oh, we need more Jodie. Must have more Jodie. So being pregnant for our final story afforded unique insights into the Doctor that none of her prisoners got to experience. Too hot, she grinned. That's method acting. God. No, it... Oh, God. Oh, it sounds like you're saying there was a life inside you, Jodie, right? Too hot, like a heartbeat means they're having a life? That's what it sounds... Are you denying women reproductive rights by saying that's a life and you would kill it if you aborted it? Or if you think that way. Before we take a leave, Doctor Who Magazine asked Jodie what her message to Chris Chibnall, the man who sent her out on the travels, said, it was as bad for you, was it as bad for you as it was for everybody else? He said, yeah, I'll say thank you so much for giving me my dream job, my last job ever. Really? Yes, I'm not getting another job like this again. Darling, you're not getting another job again. I could never imagine doing Broadchurch Beth Latimer to the Doctor. Yeah, and the reason you couldn't imagine that because you're completely unsuited for it, right? You're absolutely awful in every freaking way, and I don't think I can understand. The worst person on the planet in the history of our species to do the job that you just did. And if that friendship and that trust hadn't been forged there, then I suppose Chris would never have considered auditioning me. Yeah, I know that, right? He just was like, you got a vagina. You go. You do it. I mean, honestly, I kind of wish he got, what's her name? The woman from Line of Duty. Also from This Is England. Literally anybody would have been better, okay? I mean, like, honestly, wee Jimmy Cranky would have been fucking better. I don't think we can underplay this. He's also the only person who in the world who truly understands what it felt like to shoulder the weight of responsibility of his show for these past 4 years. Well, yes, you took so much responsibility for your failures, didn't you? So much. And by that, I mean none whatsoever, right? Yeah, everyone has worked incredibly hard to make unwatchable shit, but I suppose we're the ones that lives and dies by. It died, right? Says Jodie. We're the faces and the names of the show. It failed. So we really have to step up. Again, you and Chris, what's your next job? Nothing yet? Oh, no, you're having a baby. And Chris is obviously helping the kids with their exams. Yeah, see, they're way too busy. Oh, I feel amazing. I feel I was given the most amazing adventure storyline. So basically, thank you, because I've had the time of my life. I've loved every second of it. Oh, that's so good. That's so good for you, Jodie. There's just one other way that you can be completely out of step with the audience. Because we, darling, have hated every second of your turgid, failed, awful run. Soon may it be forgotten, and it will be forgotten soon. 24 hours, this shit is over. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Join me tomorrow night. Well, it's going to be... what time's it airing? It's like 7 to 9:30, like half an hour after the show airs. I will be giving my full review of the show. I'll let you know how awful it was. I'm watching it, so you don't have to. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell, baby. Ring the little bell, so you are notified when new videos drop.